Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. EQOA Nostalgia here with some very good news for old school MMORPG fans. Brad McQuaid is currently planning on heading up a new MMORPG project on Kickstarter. Now, for those of you in the MMORPG scene who might have been living under a rock over the past decade, Brad McQuaid is one of the original designers on the first EverQuest game. Also worthy of noting is he was also executive producer on the game Vanguard, which is a very good MMORPG. I suggest you guys check that out. Now, Vanguard did have a bit of a rocky start when it first came out, but things have been ironed out since then, and to this day, it's a very good game. And if you like classic MMORPGs, yeah, you just need to check that game out. I'm probably going to have some footage up for it. As a matter of fact, that might be what I used as like a backdrop for this video, so you might be seeing that right now. Now, Brad originally intended to have the Kickstarter up by now, but he went on to say that it's not a very good idea considering the holidays. And I think that's a very wise decision, a very logical one, because let's face it, a lot of people don't have money right now around the holidays. They've spent it all on gifts, and not only that, most people aren't going to be hanging around a Kickstarter project when they're hanging out with their family and enjoying the holidays. However, he did mention that he plans on getting the Kickstarter up around January. He also went on to say that the game is high fantasy, and if you've played EverQuest 1 and or Vanguard, you've got a good general idea of what the game is about. He added that if you are a younger player and didn't play EverQuest or Vanguard, but you want a challenging game and not a game that tries to be all things to all players, then you should feel right at home too. Now, I'm kind of going to go out on a limb here and say that this sounds like a spiritual successor to the original EverQuest game. Now, I want to be careful with what I say, because I don't want to misrepresent the game, but that's what it sounds like to me. And that just brings me right back to Kickstarter and why I love Kickstarter in indie games. If you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I've said this numerous times. Now, old school hardcore MMORPGs are a bit of a niche market, but they are definitely in demand. And it seems like right about now, we have a lot of developers that are going for that niche market. And it's really awesome because it helps to just enrich the gaming space. You know, we got a lot of AAA games out there that I know a lot of people are getting sick of. So when you take a look at Kickstarter and indie, it's just really the salvation for people who are into stuff like this. Now, a lot of people are excited about EverQuest Next, myself included, but there are some people who are not so into that, and they were hoping that EverQuest Next would have been more of a classic style EverQuest. And it appears to me that Brad has recognized that and honed in on it, and he wants to deliver that type of gaming experience to players. Now, there isn't a lot to talk about in terms of this project because it's just starting to get off the ground, and I don't even think they've begun production on it. In fact, it's in such an early stage right now that Brad is actually asking people to email him for ideas. And I always think that's really awesome. That's one of the things about Kickstarter that's really cool, is that they get the community involved with the game. They actually care about what people want from the game. I am going to be posting a link in the description with Brad McQuaid's email, so you guys can go ahead and ask him any questions or maybe offer him some of your ideas. Now, as I stated, there's not a lot of information going around, so there's not a lot to discuss, but we can speculate. Now, one of the things that I speculate is that since he's going to be asking people who are obviously into the original EverQuest games, I think we're going to be seeing a steep death penalty in this game. I think we're going to be seeing dungeons that aren't instanced and they are wide open. Anybody can come in and do things. I also think it's fair to say that there's going to be static camps and there's going to be a lot of grinding in the game. I also think that we can speculate that we're going to be seeing some rare mobs with long spawn timers on them. And like I said, it's going to be a very classic game. I don't see it turning out where it's anything modern at all. I think because he's getting the community involved in it, and like I said, the community is pretty much invested in the original EverQuest and the ideals set forth by those old school MMORPGs. So I think we're going to be seeing a very old school style MMORPG here. And once again, I do encourage you guys to email him and get involved with this, because if this is something that you've been interested in, you know, maybe you're not too happy about EverQuest Next. Like I said, there are people that aren't very happy about it. This is your chance to get the game that you're looking for. And you would be a damn fool if you didn't pledge your money on this Kickstarter as soon as it pops up. Now, I am going to be covering this topic extensively over the course of its production, and my best guess is that January is going to be the next time I cover this once it does go live on Kickstarter. I mean, I have to say, I am looking forward to this. As enthusiastic as I am about EverQuest Next, it's nice to have an old school MMORPG to play as well. I like variety. You know, variety is the spice of life, so this is good news. And at this point, I just want to ask you guys what you think about this. Are you invested completely in EverQuest Next and you don't care? Maybe you're one of those guys who doesn't care about EverQuest Next and you can't wait for this. Have you heard about this before? Because this news has been around since about September. You know, it's really not a new topic. You know, what are your hopes and dreams for this project? What do you want to see come from it? So make sure you leave a comment, rate, and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video.